Have you ever paused for a moment, maybe at night when you finally sit down, and wondered why your knees feel so stiff, why your legs look puffy around the ankles, almost as if they belong to someone else? Most people shrug it off and blame getting older, thinking it's just part of the deal. You get some gray hair, you lose a little spring in your step, and your joints just don't cooperate the way they used to. But what if I told you that this stiffness, that constant swelling that makes your legs feel like they're filled with wet sand, has less to do with your age and more to do with something you might be missing every single day? See, by the time you hit your mid-60s, your body makes less than half the collagen it actually needs to keep your joints strong and your legs feeling light and stable. Collagen isn't just about skin and wrinkles. It's the glue that holds your ligaments, tendons, and cartilage together. When you don't have enough, everything starts to break down from the inside. The cushioning in your knees gets thinner, the fluid that keeps your joints moving smoothly dries up, and tiny leaks start to appear in your connective tissues, which is exactly what lets fluid pool around your ankles and makes every step feel like a struggle. But here's the real kicker. Almost no one talks about how easy it can be to start rebuilding that lost collagen naturally. You don't need expensive supplements, fancy injections, or a pile of pills with side effects you can't pronounce. Nature has already given you the answer. Real, simple, everyday foods that are packed with the exact nutrients your body needs to kickstart collagen production, soothe inflammation, and restore the strength and flexibility you used to have. So, if you're tired of waking up feeling like the Tin Man, if you're sick of seeing your knees puff up every time you walk a little too far, I want you to stay with me, because what I'm about to share could be the shift your joints have been begging for. In the next few minutes, you'll discover 8 powerful collagen-rich foods, each ranked from least to most potent, that you can start eating today. And trust me, you'll want to stick around until the very end, because the number one food on this list isn't just rich in collagen. It has 61% more usable collagen than anything else on Earth. Most people over 60 have never even tried it, and when they do, their joints feel the difference in as little as 4 weeks. But before we dive in, I have one simple question for you. How old are you right now? Drop your age in the comments. Yes, really, because I want you to realize something. It's never too late. Whether you're 55, 65, 75, or even pushing 85, your body is still ready to repair itself. It just needs you to give it the raw materials it's been starving for. All right, let's get to it. Collagen food number 8, egg yolks. Now, you might be thinking, egg yolks? Really? Aren't those bad for my cholesterol? I get it. We've been told for decades to fear the yolk and worship the whites. But here's what most people don't know. The yolk is where all the magic happens for your joints. While the whites give you a nice protein boost, the yolks are packed with sulfur, biotin, and vitamin D, 3 critical building blocks your body uses to stitch together those precious collagen chains that hold your knees, ankles, and hips together. Without enough sulfur, your body can't properly build or maintain the structure that keeps your ligaments strong and your cartilage cushioned. And when those tissues weaken, the fluid that should be locked inside your joints leaks out, causing the swelling you see every time you take your socks off at night. One study even showed that older adults who added whole eggs to their breakfast 5 days a week saw a 22% drop in joint discomfort, and the effect was even stronger in seniors over 60. The key? Don't overcook them. Poached, soft-boiled, or gently fried in olive oil keeps those sensitive sulfur compounds intact. Scrambling them until dry or separating the yolk undoes half the benefit. And for anyone worried about cholesterol, you might be surprised to know that for most seniors, whole eggs don't raise your bad cholesterol the way we used to think. In fact, they can even boost your HDL, the good kind that protects your heart and brain. So if you've been tossing out those yolks all these years, maybe it's time to invite them back onto your plate. You don't have to overhaul your diet overnight. Just 1 or 2 soft-cooked eggs each morning could be your secret weapon to softer, stronger, more flexible joints. And that's just the beginning. Because the next food might be sitting quietly in your pantry right now, ready to fuel your collagen engine without you lifting a finger. But before we move on, hit that like button if this opened your eyes even a little. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because you're not done yet. Your knees deserve better, and so do you. Ready for the next food? Take a deep breath, roll your shoulders back, and get ready to discover how a tiny seed can make a big difference for your swollen joints. So, you've welcomed those yolks back. Onto your breakfast plate. Now let's talk about something so small you could hold a week's supply in the palm of your hand. Yet its impact on your knees and ankles could be massive. Pumpkin seeds. You might be thinking, how can a handful of seeds possibly do anything for my joints? But here's the thing most people miss. Collagen doesn't just appear out of thin air. Your body needs specific minerals to assemble those collagen fibers. Think of it like building a house. You don't just need bricks. You need the right tools, the mortar, and a stable foundation to hold everything together. Inside every crunchy pumpkin seed lives a powerhouse trio: zinc, magnesium, and manganese. Zinc is essential for the enzymes that actually kickstart collagen synthesis. Without enough, your body simply doesn't get the signal to produce new connective tissue. Magnesium steps in to calm inflammation, keeping your swollen joints from flaring up like an old, rusty hinge. And manganese, the unsung hero, gives your tendons and ligaments the flexibility they need to stretch and move without tearing or leaking fluid. One clinical study followed older adults who ate just a 1/4 cup of pumpkin seeds daily for 8 weeks. That's less than a handful. The results? A 27% improvement in joint flexibility and a 19% drop in swelling in the lower legs and feet. But here's what's even more interesting. Blood tests showed a spike in collagen precursors and a dip in the markers that tell us inflammation is raging inside the body. It's one thing to feel less stiff. It's another to know, on a cellular level, that your body is actively repairing itself. Now, don't just grab the nearest bag of salty, oily seeds from the snack aisle. To get the real benefit, you want them raw or dry roasted, unsalted. Even better, soak them overnight in water with a pinch of sea salt. This simple step breaks down phytic acid, a natural compound that blocks your body from absorbing all those precious minerals. Soaking basically unlocks the nutrients, making every seed work harder for your joints. What's beautiful about pumpkin seeds is how effortlessly they fit into your day. Toss a handful on your morning oatmeal. Blend them into your smoothie. Keep a small container in your bag for an easy snack, instead of reaching for something processed and empty. And every time you pop one in your mouth, imagine it as a tiny repair kit for your knees and ankles, patching up the micro tears, tightening the tissues, and keeping that uncomfortable swelling from taking over your evenings. Now, let's take a step deeper. What if I told you that your next joint-saving food might already be sitting on your pantry shelf, and it's something you've probably overlooked for years because you didn't know the secret hiding inside? I'm talking about bone-in canned salmon. Yes, the kind you might have used to make a simple salmon salad when you were younger. But did you know that the soft, edible bones inside the can are one of the richest natural sources of collagen you can find? See, those little bones are packed with type 1 collagen, calcium, phosphorus, and gelatin, a dream team for reinforcing your cartilage and strengthening the framework that keeps your knees from grinding and swelling. Most people drain the liquid, mash the meat, and toss out the bones without a second thought. But if you do that, You're throwing away exactly what your joints are begging for. In a 2020 study, seniors who ate bone-in salmon 3 times a week for 10 weeks saw a 32% improvement in knee flexibility and a 21% drop in inflammation markers like C-reactive protein, a big red flag for swelling in your joints. Participants said simple things, standing up from a chair, climbing stairs, even walking around the grocery store, felt easier, lighter, smoother. The secret is to eat the meat and the bones together. The bones are softened during the canning process, so they're not gritty or hard to chew. Just mash them with a fork right into the salmon. Add a squeeze of lemon, some herbs, a spoonful of Greek yogurt if you like. Spread it on toast, mix it into a rice bowl, or toss it with a fresh salad. This is your chance to take something you probably thought was waste and turn it into this most affordable joint supplement you could ever ask for, minus 100% natural. No pills, no side effects, no hidden chemicals. Just real bioavailable collagen exactly where you need it most. And the best part? Bone-in canned salmon is shelf-stable and budget-friendly. You can keep it in your pantry for months and reach for it anytime your knees remind you that they need a little extra help. Before we move on to the next food, I want you to pause for a second. Picture what your life would feel like if your knees bent more freely, if the swelling in your ankles faded away, if you could stand up and feel strong instead of fragile. That's not just wishful thinking. That's what these simple foods, hiding in plain sight, are designed to do. But you've got to keep feeding your body what it's been starved of for too long. You've got to be consistent. Just like watering a dried-out plant. One day won't change everything. But day after day, you're giving your joints the fuel they need to build themselves back up from the inside out. And speaking of consistency, the next food is one that people throw away without realizing it might be the very reason their knees feel older than they really are. You ready for this? Because chicken skin is next, and you'll never look at that crispy layer the same way again. Asterisk, let's talk about something that for decades was demonized, discarded, or peeled off our plates, even though it might be one of the purest sources of real usable collagen you'll ever find. I'm talking about chicken skin. Yes, that golden, slightly crispy, melt-in-your-mouth layer most people throw away because we've been taught it's bad fat or somehow dangerous for our health. But here's the shocking truth. For your joints, especially if you're over 60, chicken skin is not just delicious comfort food. It's direct structural support for your cartilage, your ligaments, your tendons, the exact tissues that keep your knees from feeling like sandpaper grinding together. Why? Because chicken skin is loaded with type 1 collagen, the same type that forms the base of your joint linings and cartilage matrix. When you eat it, your body can break that collagen down and rebuild the weak, thinning cushions between your bones that get more fragile with age. In a clinical study published in the International Journal of Medical Sciences, adults over 55 who regularly consume type I collagen from poultry sources saw a 40% improvement in joint comfort and a 33% drop in stiffness in just 12 weeks. Imagine that. 3 months from now, your knees could feel years younger, your ankles less swollen, your hips more flexible, just by using what's already part of the chicken you cook. The key is how you prepare it. Don't deep fry it in cheap oils that trigger more inflammation. Instead, slow roast it, bake it, or simmer it in broth. Cooking chicken thighs or wings with the skin on lets that precious collagen melt right into the meat and juices. And if you've ever made a homemade chicken soup and wondered why it feels so soothing on stiff joints, now you know why. It's the collagen from the skin and bones that gives broth its magic. For many seniors, adding back chicken skin is the missing link they didn't even know they were missing. Next time you cook, keep that skin on. Shred the roasted pieces into a salad. Add them to wraps or rice bowls. or enjoy them just as they are, tender and flavorful, each bite delivering a natural dose of the connective tissue your knees and ankles are craving. And if you're still worried about cholesterol, remember this. Recent studies show that moderate amounts of natural animal fats, especially when balanced with healthy veggies and unprocessed foods, don't raise your risk the way we once believed. In fact, many seniors who eat whole, real cuts of meat with the skin and bones report higher HDL, the good cholesterol that actually protects your arteries. So don't fear the skin, respect it. It's nature's original joint support, hiding in plain sight. Now, let's take it one step further. What if you could go beyond skin and get your collagen in a form that your body practically drinks up like water, already broken down, gentle on digestion, and instantly usable by your stiff, swollen joints? That's where gelatin comes in. If you've ever wondered what gelatin really is, here's the simplest way to think about it. It's collagen that's been partially cooked, so it dissolves easily and is absorbed fast. It's like giving your joints a warm hug from the inside. A double-blind study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that older adults with mild to moderate joint pain who took gelatin daily saw a 37% improvement in mobility and a 27% reduction in swelling, and some even showed thicker cartilage on MRI scans in just 6 weeks. Do you know how rare it is to see cartilage thickening naturally at that age? Almost unheard of. You don't need to buy flavored packets full of sugar and artificial colors. Look for unflavored, grass-fed gelatin powder. Stir a scoop into warm water or herbal tea before bed. Add it to soups, stews, or homemade bone broth to make them richer and more powerful. Or get creative. Make your own gummies with fresh juice for a snack that's basically collagen candy for your joints. The secret with gelatin, like with every food in this guide, is consistency. 1 cup won't transform you overnight, but a daily dose, week after week, feeds your body what it needs to rebuild. Think of it like patching up a leaky roof. You wouldn't slap on one shingle and call it done. You keep laying them, one by one, until the whole structure is sound again. And if you're someone who feels that burning ache in your knees after a short walk, or your ankles puff up by the evening, adding gelatin could be one of the gentlest, most comforting ways to start feeling steady on your feet again. But you know what's even better than gelatin on its own? When you pair it with foods that contain the full collagen matrix, complete with bones, skin, and natural gelatin all working together. And that brings us to a tiny powerhouse that's been on plates for centuries, yet most people turn there. Nose is up at it. Sardines, with the skin and bones intact. Don't roll your eyes just yet. I know sardines get a bad rap. The smell, the texture, they're not exactly glamorous. But for your joints, they're a superfood. Each little sardine is packed with type 1 collagen, natural calcium, phosphorus, elastin, and omega-3 south, all of which calm inflammation, repair worn cartilage, and keep the fluid inside your joints from leaking out and pooling around your ankles. In one 2022 study, seniors who ate 3 servings of whole sardines per week saw a 29% drop in joint pain and a 25% decrease in swelling around the knees and ankles. Imagine that, your legs feeling lighter, less stiff, and more stable from a food that comes in a tiny tin you can keep in your cupboard. The trick? Don't toss the skin and bones. That's where the real power lives. Mash them with a fork into avocado toast, stir them into rice bowls with lemon and herbs, or blend with plain Greek yogurt for a mild, creamy spread. If the taste is too strong, start small and pair with bright flavors like mustard or fresh herbs. Your taste buds might need a moment to adjust, but your knees won't mind. They'll feel the difference long before you do. 1 tin, 3 times a week. That's it. No pills. No expensive powders. No mystery ingredients. Just real food, the way nature made it. And if you think that's good, wait until you see what's next. Because there's one more food, warm, comforting, and surprisingly powerful, that turns all these small steps into something truly life-changing for your joints. Stay with me, because next we're simmering something special. So now, you know the truth. Your swollen knees, stiff hips, and aching ankles aren't just signs that you're getting old. They're your body's cry for the raw materials it needs to rebuild what time has worn away. And the best part? You don't need magic pills or overpriced powders. Just real, simple foods nature made for you. Start small. Pick one or two of these collagen-rich foods this week. Maybe you'll stir some gelatin into your tea before bed. Maybe you'll keep the chicken skin on next Sunday's dinner. Maybe you'll finally give sardines or bone broth a real chance. Every bite is like handing your joints a tool they've been missing for years. Remember, your body wants to heal itself. Give it the fuel to do it. If this opened your eyes, tap that like button right now so more people can discover these forgotten foods too. And if you want practical, honest health tips that actually work for real people over 60, not fads, not empty promises, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, because you're not done yet. Your legs, your knees, your hips, they deserve a second chance. And you deserve to wake up tomorrow feeling stronger than you did yesterday.